Hey guys, Cleanblade here, bringing you the Pokemon TCG online deck profile. And I know today's normally the Talk Thursday, but we're going to take a break from that this week because I have a new deck from you from Ancient Origins. And we're basically just going to be going over it, talking about the decisions that I made, stuff like that. So let's just jump straight into it. This is the new Vespiquen deck with Bee Revenge. It's basically the Flareon essentially, except it has 0 retreat cost, and with Giant Plant Force we can evolve turn 1. So let's just jump straight into the deck profile. We're running 2 Adino. Adino's just pretty good. Right now, you can just discard it for free whenever you take damage, or you can just Sycamore it. It's basically just something you can get rid out of your deck that you really don't need all that much. And if you start with it, I guess you do have Hit Bump, but we do also run Switch in the deck, so it's not that big of a deal. Then we're running 2 Ditto, only 2 Ditto. We do run 4 Eevee in this deck, but it's not for Flareon. That was like the deck before Flareon. It's for the new support Flareon. And Transform can be alright. Usually you just end up Battle Compressoring it away because we do need the Pokemon in the discard pile for Vespiquen's attack. So that's basically why we run Ditto. Plus, if it's not like that, then we can just put an Eevee and a Flareon or an Eevee and a Jolteon down on top of Ditto, and it becomes all one Pokemon, and who doesn't like that then? Then we're running 4 Eevee. Yes, this is new Ancient Origins artwork. It doesn't really matter what Eevee you run as long as it basically has the most amount of HP, and I'm pretty sure we're using the one with the most amount of HP right now. 60 HP is the most, and yes, we are. So that's the one we're running. Then we're running 2 Flareon with Flare Effect. Basically, it makes our attack now fire. So when we verse Sceptile and stuff like that, now we hit for weakness, which means we need less Pokemon in the graveyard to deal our damage overall. It's very good. It does have the attack Heat Breath, but we run 0 fire energy for it anyways, so that's basically all we use it for. Then we run two Jolteon here. Electric Effect. It basically makes each of your stage 1 Pokemon do what Flareon did, except for lightning. So now we hit for weakness on Lugia and Rayquaza, which can be really big unless they run Altaria, which sometimes they don't even, in like Metal and stuff like that. So now we hit for weakness on those things, and that's really, really big, if that makes sense. Like, we can also hit for weakness on Metal, but I don't recommend this deck into a Metal Versa because Aegislash kind of ruins this deck because we only do run 4 DCE because this is a turbo deck, so keep that in mind. But that's just really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really good. That's all I had to say about these abilities. The supporter Flareon and Jolteon are just really, really good, and I highly recommend running them in this deck. But moving on, then we're running 4 Combi, the one with 40 HP over the one with 30. Just makes it more survivable. We don't get knocked out to things like Landorus and stuff like that. So that's why we're running 4 Combi. Then we're running 4 Vespiquen with Bee Revenge. Just 20 plus 10 for damage for each Pokemon in your discard pile, which is really, really good. It's basically like the old Flareon, but a little bit better because now we hit for weakness on Seismitoad just all on its own. So we can destroy Seismitoad off with just like 1 or 2 Battle Compressors, and they're completely out of the game. Vespiquen does have 10 less HP, makes it a little bit more vulnerable, and it's weak to fire, but fire really isn't that big in this format, so I don't think that's really the problem right now. So Vespiquen's just a really solid overall deck in my opinion. Then, for the one last support Pokemon, we're running 4 Unknown with Farewell Letter. We just basically, when it's on our bench, we just put it into the discard pile, draw a card. The only bad time is Unknown is when you start with it, because you cannot use its ability. As you can tell, it clearly states that it has to be on your bench for it to work. So jumping into the trainers, we are running 4 Battle Compressor. Basically allows us to ditch Pokemon that we won't need in a matchup. Let's say we know we're versing Seismitoad, and let's say Seismitoad Yveltal. So now we can discard those 2 Flareons right out of our deck right away. We don't need them anymore. We can discard our Dinos, stuff like that. Dittos, Unknowns if we don't want them. Highly doubt you won't want your Unknowns. Unknowns are really good. I think they're one of the better cards in this deck, so keep that in mind. But it just allows you to get rid of the dead cards in your deck. You can discard other Battle Compressors if you wanted to, so you know you're versing Toad after that. All that stuff. It just allows you to do what you want in this deck. Then for our A-Spec, we're running Computer Search. It's just by far the best A-Spec overall in out of any other A spec, it's just really, really good, and I just highly recommend you run computer search. Then we're running, I do believe 3 level ball, that's it. We are running 3 level ball. It just allows us to basically get everything out of our deck. Essentially, we can get 4 Combi, or 4 Vespiquen. They all have a 90 HP and under, so we basically can get anything we wanted all out of this deck, basically instantly, just using level ball. So you got to keep that in mind. It's just really, really good. Then we're running 1 switch. Switch is just really good. Lead like a Dino or Unknown and stuff like that, and we can just switch out, get our Vespiquen up, and attack right away. Then we are running 3 Trainer's Mail. Yes, 3 Trainer Mails, only just because we are running 4 VS Seeker. You could cut a VS Seeker, run a 4th Trainer's Mail, and basically that'd be the only reason why you do it. It just adds consistency to the deck, and that's basically all you're looking for. Then we're running 3 Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball is really good in this deck. I highly recommend you run Ultra Ball. We don't run anything like Shaman or anything, but sometimes you still just want to discard the deader Pokemon that you know are going to be dead in your deck out of your hand instead of always constantly using Level Ball, if that makes sense. Then we're running 4 VS Seeker, as I said before. We do kind of run a heavy draw line on our supporters, though we don't run many supporters because we have to run so many Pokemon. We are running 24 Pokemon in this deck, so keep that in mind. That's a lot of Pokemon that we have to run in the deck. So moving on to our supporter lineup, we are running 1 Lysander. Lysander is just really, really good. It allows us to just target things on the bench, kill them, KO them. Can't hide from weakness when you're on the bench in this deck. You just get destroyed by Lysander. Then we're running 1 N. N is just really solid in this deck. If we open up a bad hand, we can still salvage it using N. Let's say we had a Sycamore, N, like Jolteon, Flareon, Vespiquen, Unknown, let's say. We can play the Unknown, put it on our bench, then N, and then you can draw of an Unknown afterwards. You don't have to use Unknown's ability right away. It can just sit there on the bench, which is another key factor to this deck. Then we're running 4 Sycamore. Sycamore is just so good in this deck. We can discard things like our Flareons and our Jolteons and our Dittos that we don't need and our Dinos. It just allows us to discard all the Pokemon that we really, really don't need. And that's so crucial in this deck because it allows you to get knockouts with Vespiquen, and that's all we're trying to do. Then we're running 4 Force of Giant Plants. This card's so good in this deck, it allows you to turn 1 Evolve from Combi into Vespiquen and be able to attack. So this card's just ridiculously good. Plus we get free retreat on Vespiquen, so even if we didn't have an energy, let's say, on that Vespiquen, you could retreat into another Vespiquen, and it could do so much work. And this card's just really, really good in this stadium. This stadium is just probably just like the best stadium that we could run in this deck. You wouldn't want to run Burbank or anything like that. You by far want to run Forest of Giant Plants. That's all I have to say. It's by far the best stadium choice. Then we're running 3 Silver Bango. Allows us to hit that magic number of 180 on less cards, stuff like that, KO EXs, all that stuff. Not much really. You could run Muscle Band, but I'd just say Silver Bango, because if you're running Muscle Band, the chances are you're already going to KO whatever is not EX, if that makes sense. You're probably already going to one-shot it, so there's no need for it. You can just instantly KO all the X's basically with Silver Bango. You'll pretty much always be hitting at least 170, which KOs majority of the X's, and very easily 180 damage. So that's why we're running 3 Silver Bango. Then for all of our energy in the deck, we're running 4 DCE. That's because basically that's all you need on Vespiquen. You can use Intelligence Gathering, Bee Revenge, both the attacks, the main attacks of this deck you can use it with. Plus, you can use a Dino's attack, Hit Bump, if you ever actually need to do that, or retreat with a Dino just off a DCE. The rest of everybody has a relatively low retreat cost, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. So it's just all really easy to rotate around, and the deck's very solid. I played a little bit so far since Ancient Origins came out, and I think it's really good. So I want to take this time and say thank you to everybody who's watching this video, and I hope you guys really like this deck profile. We'll be releasing another deck profile hopefully soon enough, probably either Saturday or Sunday. I just gotta get the cards for more deck profiles, obviously, and once we have that, we'll be set. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button down below, and if you guys really, really like this video, go over to my channel, hit that subscribe button. It helps me a lot, and it tells me that you guys are liking the content. So thank you guys so much. Have a great day, guys. Peace out.